So hi all and welcome to today's video. So today we're going to discuss about Pegasus, the spyware software. I know for the past recent days we are finding all about Pegasus and how it is threatening our internal security and how far the phishing attack and how far the internal security is under the threat because of this malicious software. So let us know all about this Pegasus software and more importantly the relevance of this particular topic with connection to your UPSC CSE examination. So as per the reports, we can believe that almost 1000 mobile devices, computers, PCs, systems has been hacked by this particular software. So this spyware or a malware, how did this get an access into these, especially the most confidential numbers and more importantly of all these journalists, political members and these opposition parties members. So how did this get an access into it? And yes, if this is posing a threat to our internal security and how far this was not detected inside our cyber security team or our internal security team. So let's dive in and learn more about the spyware software which is Pegasus. So Pegasus is a type of malware which is also being classified under a spyware, and Pegasus enables the law enforcement and intelligence agencies extract data from virtually any mobile devices, computers, laptops and personal devices. So the basic question is that how did they get the access into these person's mobile devices, and more importantly without someone's knowledge about it? And when someone is hacking my phone, how come I be completely ignorant about it? So is it some sort of like a clickbait, or is it some sort of like clicking on link and then they getting access to it? No. A zero-click attack helps spyware like Pegasus gain control over a device without the human interaction or basic human error. And Pegasus can infect a device without the target's engagement or knowledge about what is happening around. So basically all the awareness about how to avoid a phishing attack or which are the links to avoid to be clicked are completely pointless over here, because still we can't track which way they're getting the access towards these mobile devices. And all that we know about this Pegasus software is that it's an Israeli firm, NSO Group, and it was set up in 2010, and it was them who developed the Pegasus spyware software. And since then the NSO attack has been manifold and having lots of capabilities to attack anyone's phone remotely from anywhere. So how dangerously compromising is Pegasus? So upon installation, the Pegasus contacts the attacker's command and control, which is the CNC, and servers to receive and execute instructions and set back the target's private data. And this data include passwords, your bank security password, your contact list, your WhatsApp chats, everything and anything a person uses in a phone. And the attacker can control the camera and microphone of the phone, and more importantly the GPS could be enabled when on the queue. And the biggest threat over here is that spyware can evade forensic analysis and avoid detection by any antivirus software available in the market. And also the attacker can deactivate and activate the spyware when necessary that they require. So all that we can know is that all the human rights activists, the journalists, the lawyers, the opposition parties and all these prominent political leaders around the world have been targeted with the phone malware sold to the authoritarian government by an Israeli surveillance firm. And Indian ministers and government officials and opposition leaders also comes under the list. So all these people's phones are being hacked to gather information's confidential data so that they could collect ransom, or they could sell the information and even do something dubious about it. So this is the first time in the history of this country that all the pillars of a democracy, which is judiciary, parliamentary, media, executives and ministers, have been spied upon. And the Indian government has denied any wrongdoings on their part regarding this Pegasus spyware software. And they are to claim that they are not carrying out any unauthorized surveillance systems. However, the government has not confirmed or denied whether it has purchased or deployed the Pegasus spyware software. So now it is the relevance of this particular subject in connection to your UPSC civil service examinations. So this comes under the GS paper 3, which is the internal security challenges, which is a basic of cyber security, role of media, social networking sites, internal security challenges through communication networks. And also it comes under a GS paper 2, which is a polity and the governance, constitutional provisions, fundamental rights and important judgments. Because yes, right to privacy is also something which we all Indians need and desire in our life. So now let's discuss about all the laws or legislative procedures which comes under the surveillance. So the first one is Section 92 of Criminal Procedure Code or CRPC. The second one is Rule 41(9)(a) of the Telegraph Rule, and the third one, the rules under Section 69 and 69B of the IT or the Information Technology Act. So now let's discuss about issues or previous past records or cases related to surveillance systems here happened in India. So the first one is that what happened in Himachal Pradesh back in 2012. So what happened essentially was that the new government raided the police agencies and recovered over 1 lakh phone conversations of over 1,000 people, and this even include police officers, and not to mention a DGP was also found under the list. And the next case was in 2013 when India's current Home Minister Amit Shah was embroiled in a controversy which was dubbed as Snoopgate, with phone recordings alleged to be of him speaking to the head of an anti-terrorism unit to conduct covert surveillance without any legal basis, because there was no signed legal order given by the state home secretary, because they need a legal order, or more importantly a permission to carry out the tapping of all these phones and devices. And the third one was during the UPA government back in 2009, and this happened was that the said CBDT has placed a peer professional under surveillance due to the fears of her being a foreign spy, and later on the CBDT did not persecute the person. So basically all these cases that we discussed were the ones which were partially recognized or registered here in India. So I'm assuming that they might be having lots of cases which went undetected or went unregistered. And even the Pegasus software, we don't even know who comes under the list. Yes, we have some prominent names under the list, but the others, what about them? And how far the informations have been compromised here? So when you're talking about the fundamental rights or any other rights be given to the Indian citizens, are they all absolute, or are they under any sorts of reasonable restrictions? Or is there any safeguards to protect our privacy? Or is there any safeguards for the legislative to look into the matters? So that is, a limited number of agencies are given power to intercept and monitor into it. In 2014, the Ministry of Home Affairs told Parliament that 9 central agencies and the DGPs of all the states in Delhi were empowered to conduct interception under the Indian Telegraph Act. And then in 2018, 9 central agencies and 1 state agencies were authorized to conduct intercepts under Section 69 of the IT Act. And more importantly, the Intelligence Organizations Act, which restricts the civil liberties of intelligence agency employees, only list 4 agencies. But however, the RTI Act lists 22 agencies as intelligence and security organizations established by the central government. They are exempt from the RTI Act. So let's wrap up by saying is that Pegasus as a spyware, yes, posing a threat to our internal security, but more importantly, the pillars of our democracy are failing to give us the promises that they are supposed to deliver, that they are not denying or even agreeing to the points given by them. So who is behind this? So if not the government, then who is behind the spyware software? Who is behind the surveillance system? And who is monitoring us? And how far the informations have been compromised? So let's hope that in the coming days, let us know about more about the Pegasus spyware softwares and the intrusions being given to the privacies. So that's it for today's video. For more such videos, click on the subscribe button and watch the other videos. Thank you so much.